one of the things I came across this week was actually some of the tweets from some of the CNN people. This has actually been very funny to watch. At the Trump rallies, they're actually starting to really go after the media, right? Jim Acosta is one senior White House correspondent that has been covering the presidential campaign, and a while back, all he has been doing is tweeting about how, you know, the crowds are riled up against the media, right? This is dangerous. It's flat out dangerous. Let's just take a look at some of this footage coming out of some of the Trump rallies. CNN sucks.
They do.
These are weak people.
Tell the truth, right?
Yeah,
Screaming at the media.
Incapable of that.
The media is walking in. Here's another one.
Awesome.
They're booing when the media walks in. It's awesome. You know?
They deserve it.
Yes, they do. This is my point.
Shaming.
You know, it's like they have been lying and just creating. They've put themselves in this situation. That's my point, right? Here's an LA Times. Journalist press at Trump evening rally getting escorted to motorcade under watch of cops in riot gear per pool. This is getting increasingly scary, right?
I have some more headlines.
Please show them.
Frenzied Donald Trump supporters are turning on the media, and it's getting scary.
And then you have like this kind of stuff coming out too. A Trump supporter left behind this sign on media table at press bench shows swastika with word media on it, right? So there's two layers like that's unfolding within this, of course. On the first hand, it's this aspect that the media is like, you know, obviously lying. They are not telling the truth. They're not bringing up the details on Hillary. And this is coming out with Trump. I mean, he's openly talking about like, you know, they're liars, they're corrupt, and they're feeling the heat of this now. Yeah. Finally, they're starting to take, or they're forced to start to take some kind of responsibility for their actions.
The media has created wars and hate and all this racism
violence
that they complain about. They are the source of it. They are dirty, lying mouths.
That's
and it's time that they be confronted. And then they have the gall to say, Trump and rightists think the media is biased against them. Ha ha ha, we're not biased, they say. Can you imagine? I mean, they just continue to lie. They
CNN,
need to be booed.
We don't suck, right? CNN fact check is as fact check. We don't, right? Oh, funny. We don't suck. Yes, you do. You do suck. You suck majorly. But one of the kind of critiques here I want to discuss a little bit is this idea, the fact that many people seem to think that CNN is like the new Nazis, that the media somehow is like, oh my God, it's propaganda on style of Joseph Goebbels, right?
If only.
This is like classic. This is Hitlery. This is what's happening. Oh my God. I mean, it is a disgrace over the fact that CNN is like Hillary's 7th biggest financial supporter. I mean, that is a disgrace. But this has nothing to do with Hillary being like Hitler or anything like that. If the truth should come out, I think it's actually more true that Trump is like Hitler, and not the cartoon version of Hitler, obviously, you know.
Yeah, later I think we should get into the differences. I wanted to get into the Hillary versus Hitler and draw some differences. But yeah. And then also right here I saw this article, what Republicans should learn from Trump's failed war on the media. They're basically saying that he's failed. I'm like, how has he failed? I mean, people are now looking at the media, judging them, booing them. This hasn't happened last year. This is huge progress for our side.
Yeah.
And then they're complaining because he says, listen to this, there's a global conspiracy to get him in which Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends and donors. And the primary agenda here is to ruin America, right? And globalism. This is progress. This is great that he's talking about these
Fantastic.
things.
It's finally coming up.
Here we are. There were some Jews right away that were saying on their Twitter, oh no, with the repeated mentions of Soros and Blumenthal, Trump's appealing to white nationalists. And then, Trump's crypto anti-Semitism during debate, and then here's another one. Where's the other one here? globalist cabal is an anti-Semitic dog whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally admitting, that's what all the comments were laughing. So you're admitting that it's Jews that are a part of this globalist cabal?
Well, that's it. And then it's funny to watch all the comments underneath some of these tweets, right? So Jim Acosta, I mean, I know you get that flavor of like, oh my God, it's basically like Hitler again or whatever. But people are like, it's your own fault. You know, you're biased. You're letting all this out. It's your responsibility. And this has just been coming in, you know, tweet after tweet after tweet. It's like, it's their own fault, you know. They've lied on Hillary and all these kinds of things. But actually, let's play one more when Trump is talking a bit more about slamming the media here.
The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. And their agenda is to elect crooked Hillary Clinton at any cost, at any price, no matter how many lives they destroy. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, believe me. And this will be our last chance to save it on November 8th. Remember that. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The establishment and their media enablers wield control over this nation through means that are very well known. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe, and morally deformed. They will attack you. They will slander you. They will seek to destroy your career and your family. They will seek to destroy everything about you, including your reputation. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever's necessary. The Clintons are criminals. Remember that. They're criminals.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the reasons, obviously, why they are so... they're afraid of Trump because he's pointing this out, you know. But ironically, at the same time, I mean, Trump has a lot of Jewish people around him. It's just a fact. I mean, the guy out of the Rebel there, what's his name? Ezra Levant. He did a good video. We should actually play that at one point. I don't have it right now here, but he details all the people that are behind Trump. I think it's one of these things again of like controlling both sides. Obviously, it means, you know, to them it's always like 1933. Right, they're always worried. There's always
keep an eye.
Yeah, it's always 1933, and another expulsion could be just around the corner, right? And from their perspective, this is completely understandable, to be honest. You know, because they're like, you know, if you have any sensibility about yourself and your own group, you want to preserve that group. I mean, I understand that. But you know, Trump is he's not like Hitler, but the situation that America is facing now is more like Weimar Germany, you know?
Of course.
And there's a clip. Let's play this by Goebbels because it's funny because he talks very similarly, to be honest. I mean, he's not, you know, Goebbels he's an enemy of the Jewish press, and Trump is in the same situation to a certain extent. However, he has also a large percentage of his staff and people around him, including his family, that are Jewish. So it's a very different situation. But just, I mean, let's listen to this here. Check this out.
Und wenn die jüdischen Zeitungen heute glauben, auf versteckte Drohungen die nationalsozialistische Bewegung einschüchtern zu können, sie sollen sich hüten. Einmal wird unsere Geduld zu Ende sein und dann wird den Juden das freche Lügenmaul gestopft werden.
Look at that whole crowd cheering.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's-
how amazing.
And it's kind of similar. The scenario to a certain extent. This is what's so kind of ironic.
Except the normies don't know the Jews own the media here in America.
No, exactly. But when Trump says these things, that it's the media, then they say the same thing to him. Oh, he's anti-Semitic.
Dass als wir alle denken, die Stunde des Endes des roten Terrors
That's right,
gekommen sein
conservatives.
wird.
They were fighting communism.
Yeah.
What do you not get about that?
Yep. The Red Terror, communists.
Töne beibringen, die Sie noch niemals vernommen haben.
Yes, I mean, it's funny because it's a scenario then to a certain extent. There is some comparisons. There is some similarities to the situation, but the circumstances are very different, of course. But this is why they're so afraid of it. As I said, it's always 1933. This could always happen. It could always be around the corner at some point.